By the time you're hearing this episode, I'm a newly aged 35-year-old woman. I just got back from a few nights in Las Vegas where my boyfriend and I went to see Drake and 21 Savage in concert. This is a very different birthday choice compared to 10 days in Italy last year. My year from 34 to 35 has been one of tremendous growth. Not from a business or material standpoint, but from an internal one. It's been a year of reflection, trusting the unknown, and having faith. It was a tough year personally, and I was forced to do things I didn't plan to. I was forced to slow down when I didn't want to. I was forced to be content, which is something I struggled with. The growth I've experienced in this past year has had a huge impact on the money lessons I've accumulated over my 35 years of life. I want to share with you some of the biggest money lessons I learned by 35. I have a feeling the lessons will keep coming. Welcome to the City Girl Savings Podcast. I'm Raya Reeves, founder and finance coach of City Girl Savings. I turned my life around with budgeting many years ago, and now I'm on a mission to help others do the same. I fully believe that you can enjoy your life on a budget, and this weekly show will focus on the intersection of money and the city girl lifestyle. Join me every week along with some special guests as I share my experiences, advice, and guidance on navigating life and money as an experience-loving millennial. Now, before I get into today's episode, I want to answer a City Girl Solutions question that came in. The question is, which is better to pay bills every month? Auto pay through that specific company or bill pay through your bank? Trying to get all my stuff streamlined. This is a great question. I personally recommend auto pay through each company, and I do realize it takes a little longer to get things set up that way. But if there's ever an issue with the payment going through, it's likely on them, and they can waive or adjust any fees if necessary. Now, the only exception to that is if you actually don't have money in your account to cover the cost. Bill pay through your bank allows you to see all of the bills that are set up on bill pay in one place, which is great from an organizational perspective. At the end of the day, they're both good options. It really just depends on what you prefer and how much time you have to dedicate to getting it set up. But I recommend setting up auto pay through each of your companies for each specific bill. Okay, let's get into 35 money lessons I learned by 35. Number 1, money saved buys you time. When I took City Girl Savings full-time back in 2021, I had a goal of saving 15 months worth of expenses. I reached that goal and the money sat there untouched until I was able to add to it at the end of 2022. With the state of the economy in 2023, I have been on the brink of tapping into that savings. As uncomfortable as the thought of tapping into my savings is, I've realized what a blessing it is to have it. Ultimately, money buys you time until you can figure things out. I can have slow months in business and bills can be paid. I can still enjoy my same lifestyle because I have money saved. Sure, I don't like touching my savings, but doing so buys me time until I can make more money or replenish what was touched. If there's any lesson I want women to learn about money, it's this. Saving money gives you time freedom. Money lesson number 2. Budgeting gets better the more you do it. I started budgeting my money during my first job out of college. I loved it then, and I still love it now. I'll admit, I've always loved to budget. However, I've seen clients dread budgeting and grow to love it over time. The more you budget, the better you get at budgeting. Moving on. Number 3, traveling is so much better when it's paid for in cash. Back in my early 20s, any traveling I did was at the expense of not paying my rent or maxing out my credit cards. Now my trips are paid for in cash when I travel, and the difference is night and day. Not having to stress about money before, during, and after a vacation makes the trip that much better. Check out episode 30, Vacation Planning on a Budget, where I break down my process for vacation planning and saving. I will make sure I link to it in the show notes. Number 4, your money situation can change overnight. I feel like I've learned this lesson a lot over the years, but it seems all the more apparent when money isn't coming in as quickly as it used to. So sure, I would make unexpected sales over the course of time, but when things are already looking good from a revenue perspective, it's easy to overlook more coming in. On the flip side, when you're on the verge of not reaching your financial goals and an unexpected windfall comes in a matter of minutes, it's a great reminder that your current situation does not dictate your future situation. Having faith that things will work out keeps you open and ready to receive more. Number 5, don't follow the crowd. When Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Shiba Inu cryptocurrencies skyrocketed, it seemed like everyone was on the bandwagon. Even people who didn't know what they were doing or never invested before wanted a piece of the action. People made a lot of money, but it didn't last. Before we knew it, the tides turned. I had actually managed to make some money off of Dogecoin, but my profits were gone with the last purchase I made over 2 years ago. I'm still holding that position so that I can get back to break even, but had I not followed the crowd, I'd have a couple more thousand in my regular savings account today. Number 6, allocate money to the things you love. Life is too short not to enjoy the things you love. There is a balance between enjoying yourself and being responsible, and the sooner you find that balance, the better off you'll be. I am very lucky to have found it some years back. Number 7, it's not money that makes you happy, it's what you can do with it. While there is certainly a thrill in making money, the thrill fades. And I believe that's because money isn't what brings happiness, right? But money can help you find or do the things that actually do make you happy. So while money is not the direct result of your happiness, money can directly impact your happiness. Number 8, don't take on more than you can chew. At the start of 2023, I had big goals for City Girl Savings. Just listen to episode 53 to hear them, and I'll link to it in the show notes. I took on extra expenses to help me handle the increased workload I was expecting. Then the workload never came. I had more expenses than my business could comfortably cover. Cutting back expenses like hours for the City Girl Savings team was not fun, but it taught me what not to do in the future. I will never take on more than I can chew again. Now, some lessons just have to be learned the hard way, meaning you have to go through them to learn. And this was one of those lessons for me. Number 9, paying for experiences significantly beats paying for material things. When I was in college, I was constantly accumulating material things, clothes, shoes, accessories, for no reason other than the low price tag and the instant gratification that the purchases gave me. I told myself stories of what I could use that particular material thing for. This dress will be perfect for when I attend an art gallery opening. Did I ever attend an art gallery opening? Nope. Did that dress ever get the tags removed? Nope. As I've gotten older, I spend less of my discretionary money on material things and most of it on experiences like traveling or trying different and new things. Not only do I make more memories, but the feeling of joy lasts far beyond the first few minutes. That instant gratification high fades very quickly. Number 10, high yield savings are always a good idea. My high yield savings account interest generates me an extra $250 a month currently. That's an extra $3,000 a year just for having my money sit. While I know it's all contingent on interest rates, and right now interest rates are very high, it confirms that high yield savings accounts are always a good idea. Number 11, recession proof your finances, even if there's not a recession. At the time of me recording this episode, the economy isn't so hot. There's fear of a recession, inflation is still high, and layoffs are common. Having a savings account, managing the motion of negative investment performance, and keeping up with regular investments has allowed me to be in a position to succeed when things do turn around. And trust me, things will turn around. Number 12, credit cards can be your ally. When you don't have lingering debt and you have a good credit score, credit cards can come in very handy. I've been able to pull cash from my credit lines with no interest being charged to cover big purchases without pulling from my savings. As long as I pay that balance down by the time interest kicks in, I'm golden. I have actually done this a few times over the years, and it's helped tremendously. Number 13, you can buy anything, you just can't buy everything. A concept I help my clients learn, and one I've actually learned myself over the years, is that you can treat yourself to anything you want, but there has to be a limit. Just because you can buy all the things doesn't mean that you should. So while you can buy anything, you can't buy everything, and that's okay. Number 14, a retirement plan is the best builder of wealth over time. One of the best things my younger self did when I got my first real job after college was start contributing to a retirement plan. I was 21 years old, and by the time I ended up leaving corporate, nearly 11 years later, I had over 6 figures in that 401k plan. Anyone is capable of having that same result. They just have to start contributing to a retirement plan. Number 15, small amounts saved add up quickly. I became a huge fan of Digit a few years ago. And by the way, Digit is now Opportune. They are still around. They're still helping people save. But when I became a huge fan of Digit, it was because I saw how quickly small amounts of money saved added up to large amounts over time. So Digit would pull very small amounts from my checking account, so 50 cents here, $2 there, on a regular basis. And before I knew it, the money that was saved in my Digit account was extremely high, and it showed the value of how quickly small amounts saved can add up. Got a money question you want me to answer on the podcast? I'm starting a new segment on the show called City Girl Solutions, where I answer any questions you have for me. Money, business, life, you name it. Submit your questions at citygirlsavings.com/QA and get your question answered by me in a future episode. And did you know that we have so many free money resources on our blog, Instagram, and TikTok channels? Find us across the internet at City Girl Savings. Number 16, everyone needs a budget. I have created hundreds of budget plans over the years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that everyone needs a budget. It truly makes all the difference when managing money and feeling in control of your income. Whether you feel like you make good money or not, you absolutely need a budget. Number 17, making money isn't hard. Making it how you want to is. So when it comes to making money, it's actually simple. Get a job, sell something, drive for Uber. Anyone can go out and make money. What's a little more tricky is making money how you want to make it. So last year, I would have loved for City Girl Savings to have been my only source of income, but it wasn't. I took on a consulting project that significantly contributed to my income. I have learned that making money is easy, but making it exactly how you want to make it isn't. So If I need more time to make money in the way I want to make it, I need to make sure my savings is ready for that. Number 18, annual expenses come around faster than you think. I have a savings account just for annual expenses that I add to every month, but it always feels like the annual bill comes due faster than expected. You can never have enough saved for those annual bills. Number 19, determine your budget non-negotiables and let the guilt go. I started getting regular lash extensions back in 2019. At first, the cost always made me squeamish. Spending $100 every 2 weeks on lashes is a lot. And that was my thought back then. And while I still think that's my thought now, I never stopped making the lash appointments. Once I decided that lash extensions were a budget non-negotiable for me, I decided to let go of the guilt that came with that expense. If it's in my budget and accounted for, there's no reason to feel anything but blessed. You can hear some of my other budget non-negotiables in episode 70. I will link to it in the show notes. Number 20, it takes money to make money. I'm getting a little taste of how the wealthy stay wealthy. The more money you have, the easier it is to make money. For example, the more I have in my high yield savings, the more interest I make for doing nothing. The more I have in my investment accounts, the bigger the return for doing nothing. The mortgage on my rental property stays the same while the rental income goes up for doing nothing. The real struggle is making the money you need for the money to work in your favor, aka making more than you need to survive so the rest can go towards building wealth or investing in things that can help you build wealth without having to do anything. If we can figure that out, we are all golden. Number 21, it's okay to visit the same place twice. So I used to think that traveling was best done when you were going somewhere new or when I was going somewhere new, almost as if you make the most of your money when you're traveling somewhere you've never been. Now I've learned that visiting the same place multiple times can be just as rewarding. Number 22, stay away from the comparisons. I feel like I've always been pretty good about avoiding things that could take me down a comparison spiral. The older I get, the more happy I am about this. The comparison game is such a dangerous one that can end up costing you a lot of money. And social media makes it very easy to compare yourself to others. So if you find yourself going down that rabbit hole, take a social media break. Number 23. Paying for convenience is usually worth it. Now, I'm not talking about paying an extra $12 to have your Uber Eats order delivered to your door, unless, of course, it's a dire situation. I'm actually talking about investing in a cleaning lady so you can spend your time doing things that serve you better. I'm talking about me paying my monthly office rent for City Girl Savings so I have a place to go if I ever need to be alone. Convenience costs, but it's usually worth it. Number 24, 50-50 financial relationships work well. Now, this is a lesson that I've learned, and it's something that I found works perfectly for me in my situation. I think everybody's financial relationships are going to look different, but 50-50 has been the way to go for me and my partner. My boyfriend and I, we live together. We split our bills 50-50. There's no stress, no arguing, no feelings of contention or resentment. We don't have money fights, and I believe it's because we're both equals in our joint financial situation. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't treat each other to things or that we're constantly taking notes on who pays for what outside of our joint financial situation. It just means that our priorities are split down the middle, and it's worked well for us. Number 25, you can never have too many savings accounts. I've personally come to learn that one savings account per goal is the sweet spot. It keeps you organized. It allows you to see the progress you've made or the progress you are making towards the goal. And it lets you easily identify if you've reached the goal or not. Number 26, the waves of entrepreneurship are real. I remember when my boyfriend would tell me to max out building my business while working corporate as long as I could. And it used to bother me that he would say that. I didn't understand. Like, why should I continue killing myself with two jobs, my corporate job and building my business, if I don't have to? But now that my sole income is the business, I 100% get it. 1 month, your income is incredibly high. The next month, your income is incredibly low. I am still learning this lesson. I'm still learning to ride the waves of entrepreneurship, and these waves are no joke. Number 27, starting a business isn't for everyone. I used to preach that starting a business is a great way for anyone to make extra money, and I still believe that, but now I believe that starting a business isn't for everyone, and that's 100% okay. Shoot. Sometimes I still miss the stability of a regular paycheck. I wouldn't change anything about my journey, but there is value in knowing what your income is and when it's coming every month. Number 28, it's okay if you need more time to reach your goals. Not going to lie, I am constantly reiterating this to myself. I have always been a goal setter and a goal getter. However, things can come up to throw your plans and your timelines off completely. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you can't reach your goals at a later date. It's okay if you need more time to make the money you need to reach your goals. And I'm saying all of that to myself too. Number 29, expect the unexpected. Just when you think you're feeling in a groove with your money and budget, that's the moment when something will come up and throw you off. Expect the unexpected and do your best to handle those unexpected things with grace. Number 30, the lessons never stopped. When I turned 30, I wrote an article for the City Girl Savings blog called 30 Money Lessons I Learned by 30. And I'll make sure to link to it in the show notes so you can read it. But this was actually the final lesson back then. And I'm still learning it. The lessons will never stop. Just when you think you know everything, life will undoubtedly throw things your way to make you feel like a kindergartner. And that's totally okay. If we're not learning, we're dying. Number 31, be grateful. Practicing gratitude has helped me feel true happiness in my life. And it's such a peaceful thing. Gratitude has been a complete game changer for me this past year, but also these past 10 plus years where I really started practicing gratitude and writing out the things I'm grateful for. Number 32, manifestation is real. You can manifest anything if you believe you're capable of it. Amazing things have happened when I started to see what was possible for my life. Looking back, I've always had what I needed. I've always had enough. Looking forward, even when my responsibilities increase, I know I'll always have exactly what I need. Number 33, pay it forward. There is no greater feeling than helping someone else. For me, it's the work I do with my clients and the donations I make. And I want to share this. Helping others doesn't have to be in the form of money given. Time, experience, and wisdom can be just as effective, if not more. Number 34, there's no greater feeling than being an independent woman. Knowing that I have my own money, my own savings, my own business, and my own willpower is incredibly rewarding. I am waking up every day and choosing to be with my partner. I am choosing to work for myself. Not needing a partner, not needing a boss, not needing anything but myself feels amazing. And the final money lesson I've learned by 35 is the best is yet to come. After 35 years, I can honestly say the older I get, the better my finances get. And all that tells me is that the best is yet to come. I hope these money lessons help you in some way, shape, or form. And if you are 35, younger, or older, please just stop and think about the lessons you've learned up until this point. They may look like mine, may sound like mine, or they may be completely different. Just acknowledge them, learn from them, and use them as you move forward in life. Thank you so much for tuning in and letting me share this with you. Thank you so much for tuning in to City Girl Savings today. I hope you feel empowered and inspired to master your money as you make your way to your dream life. Make sure you subscribe so you're the first to know when a new episode comes out. I truly value your thoughts and feedback, so please leave a review and let me know how this podcast has impacted you. Can't wait to chat soon and make it a great day.